Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Wednesday the 27th of May 2020, and yesterday we published an important video really entitled Equities Rise as Lockdowns Ease, What About Gold and Silver? And on Monday, next move for equities up or down. We've also placed a premium video in our Inner Sanctum for Inner Sanctum members too, and that was published earlier today. Now, yesterday's video, which we produced at 11 AM GMT+1, we saw equities had risen and Wall Street was expected to open up quite considerably. And it actually did, though it did tend to fall back a little towards the end of the day. However, it was still up, from memory, in excess of 500 points. We also saw that gold had inched back a little, but silver had risen slightly. Well, at the time of writing today, which is 1940 GMT+1, so quite late when compared with yesterday, UK and European markets are closed now, but US markets are still open for a little while yet. So it's worth taking a look at the figures. The Dow Jones Index is up another 320 points at 25,316. The S&P 500 is up 21 points at 3,012. The Nasdaq is up 7 points at 9,347. Going to UK and European markets, the Euro Stoxx 50 index closed up 51 points at 3,051, while the FTSE 100 index closed up 76 points at 6,144. The DAX index closed up 153 points at 11,657, and the CAC 40 index closed up 82 points at 4,688. So, very good performance on equities today, following relatively good positive performances yesterday, and Asian markets closing up overnight, and we're expecting quite possibly for them to rise again when they reopen this evening or in the early hours of the morning for us. Now, Brent crude is down $1.45 at $34.72, and WTI crude is down $1.52 at $32.83. The dollar index is up 0.18 at 99.09. On a rolling 24-hour basis, gold is up $2.56 at $1,713, though it's down $23 since markets opened at the start of the week. In sterling terms, gold is up £11.65 at £1,399 and 41p, if that 41p is important to you, and in euro terms it's up 1.96 euros at 1,560 euros. Now again, on a 24-hour rolling basis, silver is up 27 cents at $17.34, but is up just 10 cents on the week's opening level. In sterling terms, it's up 30 pence at $14.14. And in euro terms, it's up 0.23 euros at 15.76 euros. Now, the interesting thing, and we've mentioned this now for some considerable time, the gold to silver ratio stands below 100 to 1 at 98.8 to 1. You may recall when the gold to silver ratio hovered between this sort of 108 to 1 to 112.13 to 1. It did eventually go up to 125 to 1, but we said that was unsustainable, though it might have inched marginally higher for perhaps a day or two. We suspected was a possibility, but very unlikely. And then we saw a reasonable period of time when it rested between this 108, 109 to 1 to 113 to 1. And we made the prediction that once it broke out of this, then we were likely to see this ratio fall. Not to the sort of levels that others were quoting, but certainly down below, well, first of all to the early 100s, then below 100. But we still maintain we are going to see for quite some time the gold to silver ratio in the 90s, most certainly. Now, there was relatively good US economic data published yesterday, with a consumer confidence index coming in at 86.6 for May, compared with 85.7 for April And new home sales for April were also up compared with March, with 623,000 new homes compared with March's 619,000. Now, tomorrow is very important, as we will see the weekly jobless claims figures, which attracts most attention, frankly, on a week-by-week basis at the moment, with the market potentially expecting another 2.2 million jobs being added to the unemployment register. Of course, the easing of the lockdowns should start to turn this around, but we don't think, quite frankly, that that will have had the effect as far as this week's figures are concerned. We also have reporting tomorrow the second estimate of Q1 GDP, which was originally reported at minus 4.8%, or down, I should say, 4.8%. And durable goods orders and core capital goods for April are also to be published. Now, going back to gold and silver for a moment, we've seen gold rally during the day after initially falling below the 50-day EMA. Now, as we have commented frequently, the 1700 level is quite strong support, whereas formerly it was resistance. There was some exhaustion towards the middle of last week, but as we pointed out, one should use the opportunity to add to your holdings, providing you can avoid excessive premiums. Now, technically, we may see resistance at $1,760, $1,760. But when surpassed, we should see a moderately quick rise to 1,800, though we suspect that's more likely to happen in June or July rather than in May. Now, silver markets have indeed been somewhat topsy-turvy, actually falling well below $17 to $16.88, and peaking, though, at $17.35, and it's resting not far from that peak. Now, we suspect that silver may very well try and hit that resistance level of $17.50, and oscillations between $17 and $17.50 are to be expected at least until we see the jobless and economic data figures tomorrow. Certainly, once silver goes beyond $17.50 and shows that it can hold beyond that level, then we can certainly see it pushing towards that $18 level. But it's going to take a little bit of time, we suspect, before that will happen, unless, of course, there is some major geopolitical announcement made. Now, the value of the dollar is also important and should not be neglected. An index, which, as we've already mentioned, is standing at 99.09. If it falls to below 98, this would prove quite supportive for gold and silver prices. But a rise above 100 would prove quite dampening. What we're seeing are again oscillations between this 90, just about 99, to just over 100. Now, bearing in mind how well equity markets are performing and have performed so far, both gold and silver are holding up very well and showing a degree of underlying strength. Now, today, Christine Lagarde, the head or president, if you like, of the ECB, or the European Central Bank, said in an online question and answer session today targeted at European youth that output in the euro area economy is likely to shrink between 8% to 12% this year. Now, this is towards the higher end of economists' forecasts and expectations, and almost touching what it originally laid out as a worst-case scenario. This is why we are still confident precious metals, not overconfident or over-bullish, but quietly confident and moderately bullish. Now, there are many things happening outside the economic data front on the geopolitical field, and we have covered this in the Inner Sanctum video that we published earlier today. And if you are a member of our Inner Sanctum, whether it be bronze or silver member, then we suggest you go to our website at illuminatisilver.com and have a look under the premium video section. Also, for those silver members who are resident in the United Kingdom, we have managed to break the post office lines, and we've posted out recorded delivery today to each and every one of you our 0.99 Illuminati silver round. My apologies, my sincere apologies for the late delivery of them. They should have been made sooner, but of course the lockdowns have prevented this to a large extent, especially where we are located, as it's proven extremely difficult. And if I point out to you that our local post office, even last week, on 2 attempts to deliver these coins, had queues in excess of 30 people, all standing at 6 feet apart, well, with the greatest respect, it would have just taken an age for us to have been able to queue up. And with a very vulnerable mother to look after, I wasn't quite willing to take that risk. So I do apologise sincerely for the delay in receiving those coins. This therefore means that we have a few left, and I shall make an announcement on that for those wishing to acquire them in the next couple of days. Going back to today's video, do share your thoughts. Do you believe that equity markets are going to continue to rise? Do you see gold and silver edging up, or perhaps edging down while this rise takes place? Or if you're expecting a major fall, and there are rumours that Warren Buffett is of the opinion that many equities will start to decline again, if you share that view, then do express it. I'm also conscious that I have a number of comments to respond to, and this will be done over the next 24 to 36 hours as well. So please do not feel they're not being read, even though they may not always be answered. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell sign so that you're notified of our videos as and when they're published. Not forgetting that we update our Richard and Greg channel every few days, and if you haven't done so, please kindly subscribe to that one too. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.